Well, first of all, I was surprised about that was characterized in the book by James that way, because I didn't realize he had this sort of, I don't know the word, jealousy, but he had this concern about me getting all the attention because I was the oldest.
How did you feel growing up? Like, did you struggle to always set a positive example, or was that something that came like easy to you?
Failure was not an option, sort of. It was expected. You were expected to do well in school. You were expected to go on further. Even though nobody went to college, we were expected to go to college. So, being the first, I was a person who just assumed that was the thing to go, that was the thing to do.
You were close to your biological father, Andrew, who also, he went by Dennis, his middle name.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so you get your name from.
Yeah.
And you obviously have memories, and your brother doesn't, because he was like a baby.
Right.
I think
He wasn't born
yet. Yeah. But did you pass any of those memories on?
What my father did was he really set the ground rules for the family. I know my mother, and she would admit this, although she can't, now she's passed, but she would admit this, and she's admitted it several times, that it was really his leadership that put the family on a course. He gave structure to the family, behavior structure, the whole idea of going out at night and coming back at night, being in the wrong time, wrong place, how to deal with authorities, really ingrained that in the family. And my mother was sort of second in command in that instance, and it was somewhat of a structured atmosphere, and she was not a person to set a whole lot of structure. But my father set the structure for the family, and I think it led on further, so things we kept on his course. And my mother, again, was just a brilliant keeping things going. Important for her to get the lead kids on track. The only one I thought was that we almost skipped a beat, and she would not allow it, is me. In the projects. When my father died, then I really thought about, I said, well, I'm going to have to quit school and start working, and I have to find a way to keep this family going. I felt that it was on me at that point. That's when she took control. She said, no, you're going out. And she went to take care of her children. High-level mothering thing, because to send your child, and she sent both of us, me and Rosetta, because we were the oldest ones.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 12, 13.
Okay.
And she recognized that if I stayed in Brooklyn, and I decided I was going to work and give her some money and everything else so we can keep that family going, because that time we had 6, 7 kids, Lovens, nobody could work. I said, well, I'm willing to do that. And I was really at a loss on where the family was going at that point. And had she not done that and just said, I'm going to take care of my two and y'all go over there and it's a safe place. My mother, I thought that was the brilliance of her at that point, because you find mothers these days, you see kids abused, neglected, and mothers saying, I'm not going to let my child go, even though they know they themselves can't take care of the child, they still hang on to the child. My mother knew she couldn't handle it. She knew that it wasn't, she had a 13-year-old rambunctious boy in her hands, and a girl who was just, turning into puberty. She needed to get them into a safer place, and she did it.
Did your mom eventually sit down with him, or was it just over? I think he said it was over 7 years that he kind of just pulled these stories out of her. Do you know anything about that?
I can see James sort of over the time got her to talk, and that was his reporter in him, because he was a reporter for a long time. So he got just recorded many times, and he just kept making inquiry after inquiry. And
how much would you say that the book is accurate, or to your knowledge true, or is there anything that you would probably change?
That's a great question. And I answered the question to you. I said, you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one younger brother, Daniel.
Okay. Now, if you wrote a book and you wrote a book, you think you'd agree with his book and everything he said about his book, and
Yeah, probably.
it'd be his point of view.
Yeah.
It's his point of view,
Yeah.
and it wasn't yours. And this is James' point of view. So
Yeah.
I have to. It's something that he saw from his side. It's not something I would have. I saw it the same way. I'm very proud of him being able to do that great writing. I think it's a well-written book, and it's very easy to read. I'm proud of that part of it, but one of the things I think was really that I would tend to disagree with him on mostly was her reception in the black community. I think it gave the impression that she was torn in the black community. That was, in my view, not the case. The other thing about it is some of these are family stories, pretty much.
Yeah.
And families have stories. All the families have a story. His stories are pretty accurate as far as the family stories are. But are the family stories like true to life? Probably, there's probably some embellishment somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
I'd say that he attempted to be accurate and what have you. So I don't think he made up stuff on it. But I think some of the area of it that tends to be it's like family stories. Some of these are family stories. That's what makes it readable and likable by people, because so many people can see not only my family, which is kind of an unusual family, but they also see their own family in there. So I hope that answered your question.
They did, yes.
Okay.
I hope my brother doesn't come out with a book about me.